Before the video starts, I just want to let you guys know that over 90% of you watching this video aren't even subscribed to the channel. So if this is something you like, basketball related content, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an upload. And also please be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss an upload. And also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. That makes a big difference in helping this channel grow. With that being said, back to the video. What's going on, guys? So today I wanted to talk about my Chicago Bulls, and this is something that if you are new to the channel, you're gonna have to get used to. I am a Chicago Bulls fan, so I'm going to talk about the Bulls not as often. I don't want to be a channel that's focused a lot on the Chicago Bulls. I want to talk about the league in general, but when something relevant happens with my team, I'm going to talk about it. And today is another example of it. The Bulls yesterday had a fantastic game against the Rockets. Now let me first start with the nuance. The Rockets are depleted. John Wall was the only guy playing. There was no Victor Oladipo. DeMarcus Cousins got waived, so he was obviously not there. Christian Wood, who's injured. So, this Rockets team is not good, right? They don't have anybody other than John Wall, who is someone they can rely on. So, the Bulls did very well against a depleted Rockets team, right? But, the way that the Bulls played was something that I was very happy to see. And it just makes me more excited about this team, even regardless of what happens in terms of the record and the standings, right? So the Bulls won yesterday, and because the Hornets lost yesterday too, they are now tied for the 8th seed. So the Bulls are in playoff contention, and it would not surprise me at all if the Bulls ended up either at the 8th seed or even just a little bit down, and they ended up in the play-in tournament. So I'm just throwing that out there. The Bulls could be a playoff team this year. I'm not saying they will, but they could be, they could be in the running. And for that to be happening this year with a team that has barely any roster changes, except for, drafting Patrick Williams and adding Garrett Temple, and just a coaching change made this team so much better than last year. And it's mind-boggling to me. We didn't do much this offseason and just got a new head coach, and all of a sudden we're, a team that could make the playoffs. It's wild. But this game yesterday was unbelievable because the Bulls came out, they struck first, and they went on a really big run, and they, grew this really big lead, and it looked good because Kobe White was hitting shots. LaVine wasn't really hitting as many shots, but Kobe was doing well. Wendell Carter was getting early. They played small, so I was hoping that Wendell Carter would be able to take advantage of it, and he did. Patrick Williams was doing well. Garrett Temple was doing well. The Bulls were able to grow a solid lead in the beginning of the game, but then in the second quarter, the Rockets were able to strike back because Danuel House was making shots. David Nwaba was hitting shots. Sean Tate was hitting shots. John Wall was doing what he does best. So the Rockets were able to come back. So it made the first half, a little bit of a neck and neck thing, and it was kind of up and down because the Bulls had a very dominant first quarter, but the Rockets were able to strike back in the second. But then the third quarter came. This Bulls team went on an unbelievable run. First of all, Kobe White on a really tough move. He hit his head on the stanchion, and he ended up going to the locker room. He was fine, but he got hurt and left the game. And while he was out, the Bulls just could not miss. Garrett Temple was hitting threes. Zach LaVine was catching fire like he always does. Patrick Williams was making shots. Thaddeus Young was great. And they just went on this incredible run, and they grew a 30-point lead. It was unbelievable to watch because they were just it was just so perfect because they were making shots. They were defending really well, which is one of their weaknesses. They were rebounding, another weakness. And they were just doing everything so perfectly at that time, and it just made the run more fun because it just seemed like there was nothing that could stop them. So that whole quarter was just a whole run that was nonstop, and it was unbelievable to watch. And it made me so happy about this Bulls team, even though, there's a lot that could be done, and there's a lot that I want more of. I was so happy with what I saw, and man, what is there to talk about with this team? This team is a playoff team. If they play the way that they are right now, let's think about the momentum that we have right now. So the Bulls, they win 120-100. LaVine had 21 in this game, which is actually not his best game in this 5-game stretch because he's put up 30 points again and again. So only 21, and the Bulls win by 20. That's a very good sign for this team. Garrett Temple had 9. Kobe White had, the highest scoring game today. He had 24. He had 10 rebounds too, which is very impressive. 4 for 7 from 3. That was also very good. Wendell Carter had a great game, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Patrick Williams was doing good, 14.6 rebounds. The starters came out today, which is very good for us. I think the best part about this team is our veterans off the bench. They make this team so much better. Like, we have such a good mix of young talent and veteran leadership because Garrett Temple is starting right now, and he's been great for us. Thaddeus Young, honestly, is our second best player. No joke. And for him to be doing that off the bench, he had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Thaddeus Young, off the bench, had that. And it's unbelievable watching what he does off the bench. It's just so perfect for us. He played 20 minutes and did that. Even if you don't look at the box score, just watch him play. Like, he had one move where he looked like Hakeem Olajuwon. He did like a pump fake, spin layup. He was, making incredible bounce passes. His court vision's incredible. He was, posting up, and he was just so strong. Nobody could back him down. It just worked perfectly, and he's been terrific this year. I read a really interesting stat that he was, I think, top 5 in the league in assists off the bench, and he's the only non-guard in that list. That's wild to me, but I love it so much because Thaddeus Young is so good for this team. He's like the perfect veteran. He's a locker room guy too that people really like and respect, and that's been a pattern for him his whole career. So for the Bulls to have that with this young team is so good. It's so good, and I love it so much. But Garrett Temple, again, is another great veteran. Thomas Satoransky is another great veteran. I would prefer if he was the starting point guard over Kobe White, to be honest, but I'm not going to complain if Kobe White's going to be putting up these numbers. But yeah, Satoransky's great for us, 10 points. He is, just watching him, he has great court vision. He's not afraid to take it to the basket too when he wants to. So that's great for us. Like, this team is just working so well right now, and there's so many positives to take from it, and it makes me think that, wow, this could be a playoff team. I'm not saying they will again, but just the direction that they're in right now and the groove that they're in, I could see this team making a lot of incredible strides. And it makes me think about, first of all, the fact, let me just get this out of the way, Zach LaVine should be an all-star, like, no question. I'm recording this on Tuesday morning. Later today, we're going to know who the reserves are for the all-star game, and I better see Zach LaVine on there. I'm pretty confident that he will be, because he's been putting up incredible numbers right now. I don't know, man. I hope that it happens. The coaches are the ones who pick it. They pick the reserves, so I see that the coaches have a lot of respect for LaVine, but I don't know if they're going to have enough respect to pick him to be an all-star. I hope that they do, especially because the Bulls are not terrible right now, so, we'll see what happens, but I hope that he's an all-star. He should be. Let's be very clear about that. But yeah, this team overall has just been, like, so weird to watch this season because they're tied for the 8th seed right now. They're only 1 game back from the 6th seed, and they're only 1.5 game back from the 4th seed. Like, the Bulls could be a 4th seed right now. That's unbelievable to think about. And let's be honest, let's think about the past games, right? If not for that Damian Lillard buzzer beater, right? That heartbreaker. If not for Damian Lee hitting that buzzer beater on the Warriors. If not for those 2 bad calls with jump balls. And if not for that blown lead against the Thunder, the Bulls could be a 4th, 5th seed right now, right? Like, that's wild to me. This Bulls team could be a 4th or 5th seed. First of all, it does show that the East is very, very weak right now, and that's a whole nother conversation for another time. But yeah, the Bulls could be a solid playoff team right now if they had a little bit more luck earlier in the season. But hey, I'm not going to complain right now. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. Those 5 games that Wendell has been back, so he has been terrific for this team. I don't know what's going to happen later on with this team. We're approaching the half of the season. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far. There's a couple of things I still wish rebounding was better. I still wish our defense was better on transition, but there's still a lot of positives to take from this team. I'm curious to see if they do anything in the trade deadline. I doubt it, because I think that this new front office is going to want to have a whole season with these guys to see what they want to do in the offseason when they have a lot of cap room and they can make moves. But if there's one thing I think we can do, and it's been reported and a lot of Bulls fans want, I want Lonzo Ball. Man, like, if we can somehow get Lonzo Ball, I don't know how it's going to happen, but if we can manage to get Lonzo Ball on this team, oh my gosh, that would make us so much better too, because what Lonzo Ball has done so far with the Pelicans has been terrific, and if we can get him on here, it would be great. but who knows? Lonzo Ball has increased his trade value a lot because he's been playing terrific so far, and maybe the Pelicans are going to want to keep him. We'll see what happens with that, but yeah, if we can get Lonzo Ball on the Bulls, I would be so happy. But I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far with this Bulls team, and yeah, I hope they continue this. I hope that we can be, you know, in the playoff hunt. I hope that this continues. I don't know what the strength of schedule is going to be in the second half, but if we can, you know, if we can win some games here and there, if Zach LaVine can continue to do what he's been doing, which has been incredible this year, I think he proves that he's a max player this year. I think he's proven that. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm very happy with what we're seeing with the Bulls so far. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below if you're a Bulls fan. What do you think about the Bulls? Do you think that they can make the playoffs? Because at first I said no, but now they're a possibility. So that's interesting to think about. And yeah, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you don't miss an upload. And yeah, thank you guys for your continued support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.